Hi, and welcome to the next episode of recovering, potentially, the seat covers or the seats of mid-century modern chairs, dining room chairs. All right, here's the seat. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. We already took it off, and then I traced around it, just to recap, with a marker onto the foam. This is the high density foam. Nice and squidgy. And now we're gonna see how it fits. Did I screw it up? No, I didn't, yay. Let's see how it fits on the top. Ooh, that looked good. So I beveled one of the edges, softened it, and measured it at an angle around it so that it wouldn't be overlapping, because I don't want it to overlap anywhere over the edges. The next step will be applying the batting over this. Now, why do I need batting over it? It's not a very heavy batting, it's a light batting, but what it will do is it'll blend sort of all the edges down together, because it is a soft, sort of that thick piece of, it's like a fiber. It's a fiber fill type of stuff. You would use it in any kind of upholstery to soften all the corners. You would use it also, they use batting in, like cotton batting usually is used when they make quilts. And they, you know how that goes through and it poofs up in between the stitching? That's batting in between. But it's usually cotton batting because it can be washed and everything. So this is the synthetic batting that I've got that's gonna go over it. That is a high melt, which means that it's more, it's a safer thing for upholstery. And it's thin but very durable. And it's right behind me. Oh, you see that? There you are. Hi. So, don't mind the mess around me. I am going to take these. I know this fits now. Set that aside. And I'm going to take the batting. I'm going to stand up a little bit, so don't mind me. I'm going to be headless voice for right now. Headless, only see my body. So I got 5 yards of this, which is way more than I needed. But what I want to do is just flatten the batting out as much as I can. It's kind of crinkly. There we go. There. I don't want to stretch it, however. There'll be enough of that going on, but I do want to make sure there are no creases, blah, blah, blahs. All right, so no ridges if possible, which may be easier said than done with this batting because it was stuffed. So I do want to make sure I have enough to come over both layers, but in order to do that, I've got an easy way to do it. Here's the trick. So do not make the mistake, or try not to make the mistake that I made. And I'm going, because I'm telling you how to not make the mistake that I had originally made. The mistake I made was I did not do what I'm doing right now. I just went around this. I put this down on the batting and cut with a little bit of, a little bit of extra when I've done this in the past to other chairs. And then it wasn't enough. I didn't leave enough extra around the edge because I didn't do this. I didn't actually put all the pieces together and pull it over to make sure I had enough to cover everything. Yeah, so you don't want to do that because then you get annoyed with yourself. I got super annoyed with myself. I was like, no! And I wasted a bunch of batting because I cut it wrong. Luckily, I only did one before I realized that it was cut completely wrong. So now I've got enough here. This is the overage that I want, generally speaking, right? Yes, that fits. So now I'm going to take my trusty dusty measuring tool. Wait, this isn't a measuring tool. This is a marker. It's a measuring tool. It's a marker. Look at this. Bom, bom, bom. From the edge out to the edge of the marker to the end of the marker is, oh my goodness, I just eyeballed it. So you can use anything to measure. Come on, people, you don't need to go and get the measuring tape. You can. You are welcome to go get a measuring tape or a ruler. I will not judge. But here we go. So boom, 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 out to the edge. So I'm going to put it here, put my finger here, use my marker. Boom. There we go. Make sure that that length is the same. Here to here to here. Finger, marker. All right, let's get a middle point. Put it right up to it. Put my finger down. Make a mark. Edge, corner, finger, mark. 45-degree angle. Put the cap back on because that is my full measure. Finger, mark, it's about the same. Wow, look at me, I centered it. So that's where I'm coming to. So now I can just draw my line. Look at that, look at that. This is like magic, isn't it? Ba, da, 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 da. Yes, it is, it's magic, baby. So I know I've got enough. Always try it just to make sure you didn't screw something up because it's so easy to do. You want overage, okay? You do want it to be bigger than you think. Now, why do I want it bigger than I would think? Because you're gonna trim it off in the end. So you don't want to be conservative at this point. You're gonna be pulling and blah, 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 staple, right? And then you're gonna trim off the excess. So don't be skimpy on this. Get the extra batting so you don't have to worry about it, okay? So, cutting through. So, what kind of scissors am I using? I'm using kitchen shears. These are actually the good kitchen shears that, look at that, magic. Oh yeah, that was slick. Oh my God, I can't put them together. There we go. And then they go back together. So you can wash them, the whole deal. They're actually made for trimming like meat and things like that. They were our kitchen shears for quite a while until Willoughby, our adorable one-eyed, he's a PBGV, Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen. Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen. Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen. That is literally his make and model. He's adorable. He is a wacky, and he's part poodle and part PBGV. But he went through, when we first got him, he was a year old, and he was going through that chewing phase. So the handle got chewed 2 or 3 times. Somehow he's able to get up on surfaces. Our new kitchen was built not only for tall men in mind, because there are 3 tall men over 6 feet tall. In our household, it was meant to be everything is out of Willie reach. Nothing like designing a kitchen for men over 6 feet tall and the dog. So the dog can't reach anything on those countertops. He gets up on kitchen table. Yeah, it's just part of the breed. PBGVs apparently are mountain goat. They're part mountain goat. Everybody I've spoken to, they're part mountain goat. And that's just how it is. So what I'm gonna do right now is I have my trusty dusty power shot. Oh my God, I just put in a staple. I really did it. So what I'm doing is I'm literally just tacking this in. Now, why am I doing that? I want to see if my original, my reupholstered fabric that I put on 9 years ago will fit with the new fabulous padding and batting. So I stretched it over. It'll be stretched over like this. All the wrinkles will be gone out of it. It'll be nice and smooth. But what I want to see is, and it's not going to happen. Oh, so bummed, so bummed. But we'll use the old fabric. I only have a little bit of this fabric left that I've actually used on other projects because I think it's so pretty. Is this red and gold fabric. But if I were to turn it over and try to stretch it, oh, hello. Nope, it's not gonna go. That's as far as it'll go. Even if I just go to the edge, how much can I stretch it? No. So we can't use this fabric, but I have 11 yards of brand new fabric. And you know what I'm going to do with this fabric? This fabric is going to be kept from every single chair because I like this fabric and I'm going to use it on projects. It's probably going to become retro totes. All right, so now I know that that's how that works. I am not going to put this together. Why? You tell me. Because I have 5 other chairs that I'm going to have to redo, and they're all exactly the same. The seats on every single chair are the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these staples out, and I'm going to use them as my templates. I just created a pattern. That's all the pattern is you do it once, figure it out, take it back apart, and make a million of them out of that. That's your pattern to go forward from. These staples are a little bit of an overkill, but they'll work fine for what I want because this wood is thick enough. So I have the seat. All I'm going to do now is take the fabric off just like you saw me do on every single one of the seats. I'm leaving the original fabric on here. This is the original Brasilia fabric from when these were built in the 19-whatevers, the mid-century, aka 60s or 70s. I don't actually know the dates. You could probably tell me what the range was for Brasilia style furniture. And since I have the original fabric, I'm going over it. It's got the original padding underneath, which is not very much. It's pretty hard, which is why I'm putting foam and then batting. I could choose to just add batting, but it's still gonna be very hard. So I want high density foam because we're all over 200 pounds. Our butts are putting a lot of weight on here, right? We wanna be comfortable while sitting. So I got the 2-inch high density foam right there. That way, it's gonna be like an assembly line once you start putting things together. You're gonna be like, okay, I put it down, and your first one's gonna be like, all right, it's not as pretty as all the rest. The second one's gonna be like, ooh, that one's even nicer. What did I get all over my finger? Permanent marker. That one's even nicer. Third one, whoo, baby, I'm rocking and rolling. Fourth one, oh my God, I'm a pro. Fifth one, I could do this for a living. Sixth one, God, I don't want to ever do another one of these in my life, or at least for the next 10 years. And you're done. And then you go and sit on them and everybody's like, oh my God, you did this yourself? You're amazing. So the only other step that you're gonna have to do is figure out how much fabric you want. Hello. I have 11 yards of that fabric. I do not need to be very conservative with it. What I do need to be sure of, and we'll go through this together, is that it's all facing the same direction. And if I have a pattern that I want to make sure that this circle and this circle are on the edges of my seat in the same place, that I match it up that way. So we'll do that together. And that's the end of this episode. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.